Alright guys, another Legends information has come and gone, and we are officially getting an Ultra Sword of Hope Trunks. From the Legends information, we do know he's green because the character breakdown or the website doesn't have that information. He is green melee, which is great. Unfortunately, yes, he is a hybrid Saiyan, so you can run him next to Revival Gohan, but we'll see if they do any kind of restriction. I do notice in the Z ability 2, which would be, I believe that is the 6-star restriction, if I recall, because Z ability 1 is 3 stars. Z ability 2 does not actually buff Hybrid Saiyan, so that's a start, right? So yeah, let's go ahead and break him down. His information was posted to the website, so we'll go over that. Ultra Super Saiyan Trunks joins the fight, experience gathering everyone's power and unleashing a strike of hope just like from the series. Strengths: number 1, a new key consumption type unique gauge. That's interesting. Charge the unique gauge every time an ally consumes ki. When the gauge becomes full, buff this character and allies, and even charge the active gauge by 100%. Alright. Number 2, activate Final Hope Slash with the active gauge. Tap the active gauge when it's at 100% to enter preparation mode, and gradually consume the gauge. When the gauge reaches 0%, nullify endurance and element disadvantages and activate Final Hope Slash. Wow, it has been years since we got our last preparation mode mechanic unit with the Gammas, which was, what, 5th anniversary, right? So it's been over 2 years. Alright. Number 3, limit enemy healing. Land a special move or ultimate arts or Final Hope Slash and limit enemy healing to 60%. For a certain number of timer counts, enemy health recovered will be limited to 60%. Wield Earth's Hope and seize victory. He's green, and he has quite a few tags. He's on Hybrid Saiyans, or the main tags being Hybrid Saiyans, Future, and Vegeta clan, so he can definitely help out all 3. Z ability, let's just check the last one, Z4. If Future Vegeta clan, base strike attack 42%, base strike defense 42%, and if Future ultimate or awakened damage 5%, he doesn't see ability above Hybrid Saiyans. That is great. So that means you have to run him on leader if you're running Hybrid Saiyans, so which also means that you can't just make some BS team, or you're less incentivized to run a BS team like Legend, Super Vegito, Trunks, and Revival Gohan, because Gohan would be suffering from one less C ability. Ultra ability is for Future, that is great. Strike attack has armor, so charge him without fear of enemy blast arts. You'll even get a boost damage on activation. He has a Slice Strike, and on activation, damage plus 20% for 10 counts. He is stacking a lot of damage, it seems. And he does have Blast Armor, of course. Blast, get a boost to damage on activation. Impact Blast, and damage plus 20%, alright. Special move, limit enemy healing to 60% for 20 counts and inflict the enemy with heavy bleed on hit. Massive damage, and on activation, special move damage plus 40%, and on hit, inflict enemy with heavy bleed and enemy healing to 60% has blast armor. So what I'm getting from this is that enemies cannot go above 60% HP once they've been lower than that threshold. So you get to 60% and no more healing will occur for the 20 counts, which is like the basic understanding of this. Increases green card increases all enemy slice damage received on activation, plus nullify attribute downgrades when the unique gauge is full. Dragon card, key 50, damage 30%, cover null for 5 counts, and all enemy slice damage received plus 10%. We actually haven't seen this kind of damage received attribute upgrade in quite some time. Usually it is just damage received, doesn't really specify like slice, impacts, yada yada yada. And when the unique gauge is full, nullify attribute downgrades for 10 counts, and then all enemy sub counts plus 2. That's pretty strong. So attribute downgrades, card cost up, is the most prevalent one, and the sub count, of course, is nice. That's like a pseudo lock-in, right? And we just take a look. How many characters, let me refresh this. How many characters actually increase arts cost? Piccolo does it. Super Saiyan 4 Goku does it. The Ultra 4s you don't really see that often. Namek Goku, I think, does it. I'm not sure where. Can't remember. Kid Buu does not. We know Super Saiyan 2 Gohan does it. Any other prevalent characters doing that? I do not believe so. Not ones that come to the top of my head. Let's see. Ultimate. Limit enemy healing to 60% for 20 counts on hit. Also, when the unique gauge is full, reduce the health restoration of all enemies by 100%. Supreme damage. On activation, he gets 40% ult damage and endurance nullification. On hit, limit enemy healing to 60% again, and when unique gauge is full, all enemy health restoration minus 100%. That's good. There's a lot of sustain. I think, again, a lot of the reason for these like limit enemy healing buffs and the health restoration down, just so many characters now have some type of healing. This guy, he gets healed on the green card. He gets healed. I mean, let's just check real quick. Yeah, he gets HP on area change and battlefield entry, among other things. Vegito gets healed with his green card, and I also believe battle entry. Buhan gets healed when he uses a card. And also keep in mind, now that I think about it, where is it? The enemy healing, that also applies to like revives and KO guard as well. So units like Revival Gohan theoretically shouldn't be healing for their full amount if you pop their revive with like a blue card or something. Yeah, just so many units now have some kind of healing mechanic, so that's a good thing. Let's see, where were we? Main ability. Restore the Vanishing Gauge by 100% and cancel attribute downgrades. Draw the ultimate arts next. 30% HP, 40 key, Vanishing Gauge 100% and cancel attribute downgrades. Again, good for arts cost. I really like Vanishing Gauge on, or Vanish Restoration on the main ability. Ultra, or not Ultra, Mini Vegeta has that. Not many units have had that recently. Mini Vegeta is the one that comes to mind. I think that's it. Kaioken Goku, I believe, had that. UI had that. But yeah, that's I like that mechanic. Start ability. Damage guard at 350%, 207. Oh, sorry. Damage 350%. Damage guard 270%, 50% cure recovery, hard draw speed, and endurance 50% recovery. I think that's actually lower than Piccolo post buff, right? Let's see. Or is the starter ability? Yeah, 350 damage is the same. Damage guard actually goes down to 270%. Cure recovery is the same, draw speed is the same. But yeah, he actually has 10% less damage guard, so he is going to be pretty susceptible to Legend Super Vegito unless they give him some kind of type neutral. Unique ability. Draw a card up to 2 times on a strike or blast arts use. On endurance activation, charge the unique gauge by 100% and seal the enemy's rising rush. On battlefield entry, 10% HP and key 50. That's a lot of key. And I think partly to do with that is Revival Gohan. Of course, we just take a look at this guy's kit. Every time he's encountering an enemy, he lowers key by what, 30? Right? 30? Let's see. On enemy character confrontation, minus 30. So he'll net positive 20 key. Also, when unique gauge is full, goes type neutral for 5 counts. Okay, there's type neutral. And on strike or blast arts use, he draws a card twice and gets cover null. Okay, this is the better cover null condition, where you actually have to use a card for the cover null to begin, which is one of the only flaws of Legend Super Vegito, where his cover null activates as soon as he enters the battlefield, so it's very easy to waste it when you're trying to fight for priority. When hit by enemy arts, Nullify damage received. Yeah, so he goes defensive neutral for 5 counts. Uncancelable, and it resets in Twitch. That's good. All enemy arts cost plus 10 for 5 counts. That is really powerful. Legend Piccolo has a version of this, except it's only for one enemy. So it's pretty easy to get around it by, you know, just switching to a different character. But this guy has it for all enemies, which is the same as Beast Gohan. On Endurance activation, unique gauge is 100%. Seal enemy strike blast special move arts for 3 counts. And seal enemy rising rush. That is one hell of a disrupt. That makes it so that they really can't do anything besides main ability or overdrive. So overdrive once again becomes very important, as it has been getting increasingly important over the past few months. And then the main ability is, you know, it's the main ability. When on battlefield, an enemy activates special move ultimate, awaken arts, or rising rush, cancel attribute downgrades, ally subcounts -5, and cancel enemy buff effects 3 times. That is good. Typical endurance unit getting buff removal, which is always nice. He has a strike cover change, which is of course comboable into the blue card. Let's get into his unique gauge. Charges according to the key consumed by an ally. When the unique gauge becomes full, it charges the active gauge by 100% and gives a huge boost to damage. When unique gauge becomes full, active gauge plus 100%, damage plus 70%, gradually restores health uncancelable, ally health plus 30%, ally damage plus 30% for 30 counts, and cancel ally attribute downgrade and at normal conditions. That is one hell of a buff, man. Active gauge is what I'm assuming is going to be activating his preparation mode. 70% damage is pretty significant. That brings him up to 420%, right? 350 plus 70, yeah, 420%. Hard. Ally health is great, ally damage, so he is supporting for 30 counts, and then this also applies to himself. Charges on ally arts used according to key consumed. That's interesting, so that, that's for allies as well, so you don't have to just be in Trunks to activate that. That, again, wouldn't that also increase the relevance of overdrive again? Because then you don't have to reduce key and you can just spam cards, and this will charge the gauge, right? Active gauge. Tap the active gauge when it's at 100% to enter preparation mode and gradually consume the gauge. When the gauge reaches 0%, nullify endurance and element disadvantages and activate Final Hope Slash. With 100% active gauge on tap, enter Final Hope Slash preparation mode. Nullify at normal conditions for 15 counts, uncancelable. Enemy key -100, enemy Dragon Balls -2. So that's pretty strong. No Dragon Balls, complete key reduction. He won't be affected by like paralysis or faint or anything. Preparation mode. When active gauge reaches 0%, activate Final Hope Slash. Nullify element disadvantages, so those type neutral. Nullifies endurance. And revive disruption. Revival health by 70%, 2 counts. So this is basically a kill confirm for, or a revive kill confirm for the Revival Gohan. Because he is type disadvantage and he's getting hit by this. On hit, deals supreme damage. Yeah, Revival Gohan would be cooked if it gets hit by this. Limit enemy healing to 60% again. Charges to 100% when unique gauge becomes full. Preparation mode decreases gradually when on battlefield. Active gauge disappears when Final Hope Slash activates. If character is sealed, temporarily sealed, or receives an attack that will cause it to be defeatable in prep mode, it will be cancelled and the active gauge will disappear. This attack cannot be evaded with a vanishing stat and cannot be cover changed against on attack. Cancels all abnormal conditions that restrict the character's movements. Okay, gradually, let me just check what the wording for the other preparation mode units are. 3. Gamma. Let's just check the wording for how quickly their their prep gauge reduces. Where would this be? Oh, here. Gradually decreases, okay. What about the gammas? Gradually. So it's gonna be the same amount of time as them. What I do notice is, unlike the other... Let me just confirm this. Yeah, the Gammas and the Boo Duo, they specifically mention that this will be doing AoE damage to the enemies. To all of the enemies, but Trunks doesn't have that. So is this just something with the website that it's not showing it, or is it actually that he is only doing damage to one character? We're gonna have to see when we go in-game for the breakdown tonight, but right now it seems that he's not doing AoE damage, just damage to the one enemy, so it's like a secondary ult, sorta. Let's check his damage. Of course, he doesn't have 200%, 270% damage card, and he doesn't get anything elsewhere. He is stacking damage with the strike and blast cards. What about his green card? Green card's giving him damage, but we'll just count his base, which I believe is only the starter ability and the unique gauge. So that's 270% on top of the 50%, or no, 70% again. Wait. Sorry, 350 and the 70%. So that's again 420%. But that's pretty strong, man. But yeah, this guy looks really good. He looks very interesting. We haven't had a preparation mode unit in a long time, and I'm kind of excited to use him if I pull him. But yeah, he looks pretty damn good. I really like how they at least pseudo restricted him in both the Ultra ability and the Z ability, so you can't run some like mutated team, I guess, where you just slap a bunch of the more modern units like Piccolo and whatever, or someone's gonna suffer, whether it be Trunks from not getting his Ultra ability or Revival Gohan for not getting another Z ability. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this character, and I will see you guys tonight for the breakdown. See ya.